Hi guys, welcome back to another deck profile. It's been a while since I've done any of these, and I figured I'd give you all an update on my favorite deck, the main deck, the best deck in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Dinomist. Let's get into it. Let's show y'all how the deck is updated, progressed, and all that good stuff. Alright, first we're going to start with 3 of everyone's favorite Dinomist Petren. After all this time, I still can't say it right, but anyways. Petren, which acts like a living Rhoda for the deck whenever it destroys an opponent's monster by battle. Also comes with additional effect as a Pendulum monster to protect your Dinomist like all of them do. Then we have 3 Dinomist Stegosaurus. This regular monster effect, if an Pendulum monster you control battles an opponent's monster after damage calculation, you can destroy those monsters. So, even if it does not take out the opponent's monster by attack or because of its effect, you can pop this guy and pop them both. Then we have 3 Dinomist Brachion, which is like the Cyber Dragon of the deck. He'll bring himself out to the field as long as you don't control another one, of course. Then we have 3 Dinomist Spinos. Dinomist Spino has one of the coolest effects in the deck, where you contribute a Dinomist monster to activate one of these effects, and this card can either attack your opponent directly this turn, or it can make a second attack during each battle phase. So, you can hit your opponent twice with this big boy, which has a 2500 attack point big booty. Then we also have 2 Dinomist Rex, the second boss monster of the deck. To me, I think Spinos is the better boss monster, but that's just me personally. Other people say otherwise, but I don't care. Dinomist Spinos is the boss monster. Anyways, Dinomist Rex. His effect now. If this card attacks at the end of the damage step, you contribute one other Dinomist monster to activate this effect. This card can make a second attack on an opponent's monster in a row, and if it attacks the defensive monster, inflict piercing damage. Second effect, shuffle one card from your opponent's hand at random or on their side of the field into the deck. So it has a nice little bounce effect, but it also gains 100 attack, which really isn't that big of a deal, but still kind of cool. Then we have 1 Dinomist Ankylos. When he banishes any monster that battles with a Dinomist monster, as long as he's on the field. We have 2 Dinomist Plesiosaur, which all face-up monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack and defense. Then we have 2 Dinomist Ceratops, which, if all monsters you control are Dinomist, you can special summon only one at a time, one of him, if you don't have another Dinomist Ceratops on the field. So that's it for the Dinomist monsters. Let's get into the hand traps. The hand traps, I only have 2 in this deck, which are Droll and Lockbird. And the reason this is because Droll and Lockbird, I see him being more useful in most of the duels that I have. He ends up saving me more than Ash Blossom and Effect Veiler and all them. But I do have those in my extra deck, just in case I do go against an opponent that really doesn't rely on adding cards from the deck to the hand. But most decks now do nowadays. I also have 1 Bear Statue of Torrent, which, as you know, when this card's face up on the field, you can only special summon water monsters. So, since most meta decks that I know of and have faced don't have a real water monster in the extra deck, or in the main deck, this guy kind of stops them. The only way they can get around it is with Kaiju or attack over it. Next, let's get into the spells of it. First, we have 1 Dark Ruler No More, which, as you know, blocks all your opponent's monsters' effects, allowing you to take the control of the board back. Then we have 3 Dinomist Charge, which is the Rhoda of the deck. When activated, you can add 1 Dinomist from your deck to your hand. Also, its second effect can be very helpful. Whenever a Dinomist monster you control is sent to extra deck, it gets added to your hand once per turn. So, if 2 get sent at the same time, you get to choose which one you want to add to your hand. Then we play 3 Necro Valley, which stops your opponent from using their graveyard, banishing, and all that good stuff. This card's been proven very effective in the current game. in a lot of duels I play. Next we have, now this 3 is a shocker, 3 Regeki. Yes, you heard me, 3 Regeki. It has finally come off the limited list back to 3 after a very, 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 very long time, and I am going to abuse the crap out of this. I am going to zip, zip, zip the whole field with 3 Regekis. Watch me. That's it for the spell cards. Next, let's get into the traps, which we have 2. Dinomist Howling, which when this card is activated, allows you to set your Pendulum scale directly from your deck. You just can't special something else but besides Dinomist monsters for a turn, which is actually not a problem because all you have is Dinomist. However, it does have a nasty little second effect, where once per turn, if this card is already face up in your spell trap card zone, you can tribute 1 Dinomist monster to target 1 card on your opponent controls and return it to the hand. So, non-destruction removal, which is really good. Then we have 1 summon limit. Now, the trick to this card that a lot of people don't understand is the fact that Pendulum summon counts as just 1 summon. So you can summon your whole board still, and guess what? It's 1 summon because it was a Pendulum summon. While your opponent, unless they have a Pendulum deck too, they only get those 2 summons, and most combos require more than 2 summons nowadays. Next we have 1 anti-spell fragrance to stop your opponent's spell cards, since they got rid of my Imperial Order. Anyways, anti-spell fragrance to help control the spells. Then we have 2 torrential tributes for more field destruction. And finally we have 1 of my favorite old school cards, which is Magic Cylinder. Now all these cards right here do the job real good. Let's get into the extra deck. We're going to start off with 2 of some of my favorite new XYZ monsters, the Stealth Kraken Spawn and number 4 Stealth Kraken. These guys work in a good combo to help control the field, turns all your opponent's monsters into water monsters, and can even destroy your opponent's dead monster. Next we have everyone's favorite XYZ, Double A Zeus, which I have a sick combo with this card, and I will show y'all in a little bit when we get to it. Next we have 1 number 100 Silent Horror Shark. You know we couldn't leave our boy out. Hold up, somehow they got all mixed up here. Hold up. How do my XYZs get like this? There we go. Okay. Next we have 1 number 61 Volcanosaurus. Here's where a good combo comes into play. I see some of this guy using 2 of my level 5 Dinomist monsters. He has an effect, detach material, destroy all of your opponent's monsters. They take life point damage equal to its attack. However, he cannot attack that turn. But that's okay, because then he upgrades into Gaia Dragon the Thunder Charger, which you can summon him with any level 5 XC monster, and it gains that materials, which then I would attack during battle phase, which turns him into AA Arsenal Zeus, which you see how that goes. Next, for the XYZ, now up we have 1 number C100 Silent Horror Shark. He's mainly just in there because I thought it was cool to have the form. I did, and I could bring him out easy. Next we have 1 Wind Up Arsenal Zimon. We have him for spell and trap card back row removal, because sometimes that's what you need. You need him, and he can pop 2 of them by detaching 1 material, so really good there. Next we have everyone's favorite Abyss Dweller. Then we have Evil Swarm Extinction Knight. Got a bunch of good XYZs for this deck. This deck mainly XYZ summon, which is really good. Next we have, for our links, 1 Orthogenesis, 1 Misty Starboy, and 1 Borlo Sword Dragon. Now remember guys, if you're Pendulum summoning, Pendulum decks, you can only Pendulum summon from the extra deck into extra monster zone, or to a zone your link monsters point to. Remember that very carefully. I learned it the hard way after that. And finally, for the extra deck madness, we have 1 Coral Dragon and 1 Truce the Dragon the Ice Barrier. Will I ever summon these? Probably not. Is it cool to have an extra deck? You bet your butt it is. Especially the fact that it's George, he's always just cool to have. Next, I'm going to show y'all something I rarely do, which is my side deck. My side deck changes very often, which is why most of the time I don't show it that often, but I figured I will for this video. In the side deck we have one more Droll and Lot bird, 2 Artifact Lancias, and 1 Sea Turtle Kaiju. Now, I said earlier I did have an Ash Blossom, and I did. But I did change her out for the Lancia because he ended up becoming more valuable than she did. But hey, I'll probably put her back in. You know how your side deck works. You change it out more than you change your actual main deck. Next, for the spells of the side deck, we have 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 of the newest spell cards, Cellband, and 2 Twin Twisters. Now, the Cellband is a card that was just released in Battles of Chaos. This card, you declare 1 card's name. Your opponent cannot activate that card for the rest of that turn. However, here is the catch. You can activate the card for the rest of that duel. It's not the best. However, the fact that you can basically stop your opponent from Ash Blossoming, Droll Lot Burn you, or anything like that is really cool. Or if they already have their board set up, a Solemn Judgment, Torrential Tribute, or anything that could stop your combos from going off that's on the board itself. I think it's a really good card. It just needs to be activated during the right time to be really good. Activated during the wrong time, like all cards, it's not going to be good. Next, for traps, we have 1 Underdog, 1 Dinomist Howling, and 2 Solemn Warnings. Now, it's just in case I really need a 3rd Dinomist Howling in my deck, because for whatever reason 2 ain't working. As for the Underdog, it's a cheap knockoff of Skill Drain, and it's not that good compared to Skill Drain. However, it's good for what it does. The only thing I hate about it is how it works. Basically, during your turn, your opponent cannot activate card effects, which is fine. Monster effects, I mean, sorry. However, during your opponent's turn, your face-up monsters can activate their effects. So, you see why it's less of a skill drain? Because skill drain knows the whole field. This one knows your opponent's, then yours, or depending on when you activate it. Do not activate it during your opponent's turn because that would be really dumb and that would hurt you more than help you. And then there's Solemn Warning, as you know, just one of the better of the Solomon cards. But guys, that is the Dinomist deck profile of February. And I think I really like this build. I find it to be a good Dinomist Control deck. I do think it's going to become better with time, especially when I accumulate more cards. As you know, you're always dueling and you're always evolving, always changing your deck. And guys, I appreciate y'all watching. If you want to see any different deck profiles, let me know. I am working on a few others. I have a zombie deck I'm working on right now. I have a Crystal Beast, an Exodia, I have all types. I might show them off after the tournament to see how they do. That way I can be sure that these things are good. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next video. Bye!